Hi, thanks so much for joining me for the list for August. Those are things that I've hauled, revisited, and then replenished, and then I'll go ahead and talk about some other things that I picked up just to update you on how those things are going. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Volume number 3, and it's got 6 colors in it. I'll go ahead and show you a swatch of all of those things. I will be doing an in-depth video on this in another week, so look for that. This next item might surprise some people because I've talked about it before and I didn't like it, but that was because of the shade. It was in tan and it was a little bit gray for me. So I've tried a couple versions of it and tan didn't work. Notice they had a few new colors. I picked up Rich because of the more warm tone to it. And I tried a couple of testers. Now one was very gray and then this one was a very warm color. Let me just swatch that for you right here. As you can see, it does pull orange, but I have it on right now, and what it does is color correct. So I have some really severe darkness right now that I'm trying to deal with because I've been in the sun so much, and so that's when the discoloration from previous sun damage shows up. So this has been really helpful in kind of camouflaging that without adding too much concealer, especially when it's hot outside. So if you're looking at this product and tan didn't work for you, you might try Rich, but it is a little bit deeper in tone. So it works really well for me right now because I am tan. Can't say it's going to be a great color in a couple of months, but for now, great SPF 50. I don't like the consistency of this as much as I like the Philosophy skin tint that I talked about before. I still prefer the performance of the skin tint by Philosophy, but this, I mean, the packaging is just so much easier for daily use. So to take out that tub of the Philosophy skin tint every day is kind of a process. So this is just so much easier, which is why I've been using it. And like I said, the color correction that it provides for my dark areas is helpful. So if you were interested in this and tan didn't work for you, you might try it in Rich. Again, look for the more warm tone because they have both in the store right now. I asked the lady at Ulta why this was different than another tester, and she said because it turns with the light. Well, that's not actually accurate. Someone on Instagram replied to me because I had a question for them, and one of the reps from IT Cosmetics told me what happened is when they released this color originally, it was too gray. So it was a really deep gray color, and then they adjusted it, so now it's this shade, still called Rich though. So what happened is they didn't remove the original tester from the shelves, they just started stocking these in the packages behind them. So some were this color, some were the darker one. Anyway, long story short, if you are looking for this in the warmer shade, just make sure that you have the updated color because I don't know if everything's been cleared from the shelves from the first release of this shade. Okay, I think that makes sense. The reason I choose this again for daily application is simply the packaging. If Philosophy was in this kind of packaging, I would use it, but it's not, so I'm going with this for now. I picked up the Velvetizer by Urban Decay. I saw Tati talk about this and I wanted to try it. It is a powder that you add to your foundation. Ooh, there it is. Don't spill. You add this to your foundation to velvetize it, so it turns almost into a paste, I want to say, when you add this powder to it. Seems a little counterintuitive, but it definitely does that. It doesn't work well for me though on camera. I noticed it looks great in person, but I shot with it on camera and it looked like, I don't know, it didn't look as good as without it. So something to think about, but an interesting product nonetheless. So I don't know if the weather has something to do with it, but it gets really hot and then this starts to do some funny things on my skin, so I'm interested to try this one. It's a little bit cooler and I'm not perspiring so much. So this is, yeah, definitely an interesting product that does give you a velvet texture if you wanted to try it. I also tried this again. Now I tried this in the past and I thought maybe I used it incorrectly, but it's by Malley and it's a non-powder, what do they call it? Evercolor Poreless Face Defender. It works as a powder would work, but without using powder, and the reason it has some coloring on there is because the sponge I was using, it looks gross, but this is one, and then you just put it in here. So if I have makeup on my skin and I put it in here, it transfers, so it's just makeup from my face that ended up in here. What it's supposed to do is help set your makeup without powder, but for me, what it did is that it pushed the pigment into my pores more, and then you could see the discoloration around the pores. Yeah, so it didn't work for me now because I have so much discoloration right now, but I'm going to continue to use it. It definitely does set and mattify without powder. So if you have beautiful skin and you don't need to worry about concealing, I think this on top of concealer does not work for me, at least. If you're looking for an alternative to powder, it's kind of an interesting product. It's like a silicone feel to it. It's clear, and then you just pat it on with this. Don't swipe it because you'll wipe your makeup off, but you pat it in. In a couple of months, I'll try this again without so much discoloration and see if that helps, because right where I get shiny is right in here, which is where the discoloration is. So yeah, I have lots going on right in this area. I also picked up a Micro Blur Skin Perfector by KIEHL'S. Sephora is carrying it now. I used this before. I think Wayne Goss talked about it, which is why I purchased it probably like a year or two ago. It's a lightweight skin smoother that instantly refines skin texture and minimizes the appearance of pores while improving skin's quality over time. So it acts as a primer and also improves your skin while it's sitting on there. So I like that. It's a 2-for-1. It does have a similar texture to the Professional by Benefit. It's not as intense as that, but it definitely blurs as a primer. Speaking of Wayne Goss, I picked this up, the Argireline solution. Don't know if I'm saying that right, 10% by The Ordinary. What he said about it is that it acts as Botox would without Botox. I don't know, I've never tried Botox, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but it's supposed to, what does it say? Apply a few drops on the forehead and around eyes twice daily before heavier treatments. So I'll try it this month and see how it goes and let you know, but I tried it today. I don't know if I noticed any difference, but I'll try it over time for the next month and revisit it with you to let you know if it did anything for me. Then I purchased this. This is the BENJABELLE Sunflower Brush Tree, and it comes in really handy for washing your brushes. So you wash the brush and then you stick it in here, and you can see that it can dry like this so you don't get water in the brush, which compromises the integrity of your brush. So it allows you to dry them nicely without having to spread them all over the counters, which is one reason why I dread washing my brushes. It's because I have so many, when I wash them, it just overtakes the countertops. I'm laying them flat. I've got towels and paper towels. This way it's compact, and then they just dry like this. You can leave them there until you need them again. So really happy I purchased this. I've been looking at this for a while and finally decided just to pick it up. So if you don't like washing brushes as much as I don't really like washing brushes, I think this is the piece which makes it a little bit less painful. So loving this purchase. This next purchase is a mousse. It is by DAVINES. This is a volume boosting mousse, is the name of it. And the last time I used a mousse was a finesse mousse. It was in blue bottle. I had a spiral perm and I put it in, it would become crunchy. So my memories of mousse are not positive. I prefer movement to my hair. And when my hair stylist used this and my hair just held the shape a little bit better, she did a blowout and then there was definitely movement to it. So it smells really nice, and I'm going to try to figure out how to do the blowout that she did on me using this product. So far, just I've been experimenting with it. I'm not doing as well as her, but it definitely keeps the shape, especially in humid weather. My hair is pretty much stick straight and then kind of flies away at the end if I don't do anything to it. So this holds that shape and it gives movement. So I was really happy with it and I picked that up. I'll let you know how that goes. I know I've been talking about discoloration a lot because I struggled quite a bit today trying to cover up the darkness on my face. It's probably the most intense as it's been in about a year. It usually gets like this around this time of the year because of the sun and how much I'm in the sun. So this is by Anastasia, Beverly Hills. It's her concealer in 5.0. So as you can see, it's very almost orangey compared to my skin. Yeah, it looks pretty orange, but that's what I need to color correct. So this does a color correcting on me. It's very creamy and very opaque, which is something nice for my skin right now because I was trying to layer on some other concealers and even the Tarte concealer, which I love, wasn't doing it because of this shade. It was getting a little bit like green, grayish. So if you stick with something really warm like this with almost an orange tone to it, it helps with the color correcting. I haven't been using this all month, but I just pulled for it today and it saved everything because I just kind of pressed down what I had on here, because what happened is I had so many layers and it was getting really texturized here, so I kind of wiped it off and then I replaced it with this and set it with powder, and we're good at least for now until it gets way too hot. Just want to take a moment to mention this foundation brush by Shiseido. My stepdaughters gave it to me a couple of years ago and I've been using the large Artiste brush, but This one I took out because my artiste brush fell on the floor and I have to wash it still. So I took this one out and I realized that it is really great for precision, especially around the nose. So the artiste brush goes really fast, but it's hard to get in some of the smaller areas. This one's really great, and even though it's smaller, it doesn't take that much longer to apply your foundation. So if you're looking for something a little bit more compact and does a really great job of application, I would look at this one. And just a little tip out there, if you are looking for a gift for someone who loves cosmetics, a brush I think is one of the best things you can buy because it doesn't ever expire. If you take care of it, it'll last a really long time. And whenever I use this brush, I think of them. So I think it's a really great gift. I love when I get brushes for gifts because I think about the people who got them for me when I use them. I wanted to talk about this thermal root lift, which I spoke about previously, and it does provide instant volume without anything sticky or crunchy up on top. So if you're interested in this, I have it in now. I didn't put it in when it was damp though, so I don't think I got as much volume. But typically my hair will be right up against my head and very flat on top. So this for me is, that's volume. So if you need a little bit of help, I do like this, and it doesn't flake or do anything weird. Again, performs really nicely, and I like how it feels on my scalp. I don't like products on my scalp. It actually gets really irritated and itchy quickly, and this doesn't do it. So if you were interested, I would recommend this. Finally, I just wanted to revisit the LANEIGE Lip Sleeping Mask. This, I don't know, I'm not impressed. I've been using it for a month. It's okay. I don't think that it does anything particularly amazing. If I was going to spend money on any lip balm, it would be the By Terry Balm de Rose. I love that. Haven't found anything like it. I know that's not a sleeping mask, but it's very emollient, more emollient than this, and it just, yeah, I just prefer that to this one. It says Wake Up to Baby Soft Lips. I didn't find that. It is like a lip balm though. It definitely does what a lip balm does, but I have to reapply it often, and once before bed is not enough. So I will use it till it's gone, but I don't think I would repurchase this. And I just want to take a moment to thank you so much for tuning in, for subscribing, just spending time with me, because it's been about a year since I started this channel. It's been a lot more work than I expected to, but so much fun, and the best part is interacting with you. I love learning from you and building content based on requests that you have and things that you are interested in. So please keep those comments and suggestions coming. I love reading them, and I try to respond to as many as I can. Also, thank you so much for the constructive criticism, which I've received as well. It definitely helps improve the quality of the channel, which is important to me. So if you do have any suggestions, comments, or if you want to see something different like vlogs, happy to try that. I haven't really done that before. I'm interested in trying some new things or new ideas that I haven't thought of or haven't been mentioned before, so please let me know. I'd love to do that. And if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks! Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for the list for August. Is that right? But in terms of, it's a lightweight skin smoother to one mention. This is a Shiseido, what is this called? Foundation brush. My stepwaters. It's not new to me. My why can't I say that today? Foundation brush. Just want to,